Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bitaboo Plus. It's the extra stream, and we are getting ready for Baiken hype. I need to make sure that I am actually logged in, but there we go. And let's see here. Nope, that's not the one. That's not the one. There we go. Okay, now we're going to switch controllers. To the fight pad that I have. And while we do that, I'm going to play oof, that is, there we go. Yeah, the Guilty Gear Baiken theme, Momentary Life, aka Baiken Baby, that I made. So yeah, that's gonna be going on in the background for a little bit. It's actually a music video, so there's some gameplay in there. I'm also going to have to now, for once, I was actually quite prepared to do the stream, but I also have a lot of crap going on in the background that I kind of don't want to deal with right now, so... Let's see here. Basically unrelated stuff. Stuff unrelated to the stream. Oh, yo. We got a penguin in the stream.
When it comes to video games, Nintendo is that one company
YouTube
that everybody's heard of. Whether you love them or...
Kirby? Nah, we're not interested in Kirby. We're here for Baiken. They, badass Kenshi from, Guilty Gear that decided to show up in Samurai Shodown. Yeah, Baiken time. I need to, let's see here. We have a giveaway for the game still here today. I'll talk a little bit about that once we've got this ball rolling. And I am going to, oh yeah, I need to remember to turn the lights on because things always get super dark when I stream. And by getting super dark, I mean literally the room gets too dark and I always forget to turn on the lights. I just have a tiny bit, let's see here, stream sharing, we're gonna do this, this, and that. There we go. So we are officially done with that. I'm gonna boot up the game and head up and get the lights on, and then we will get started. Yeah, what's that for? Well, it's I'll just boot up the game. I'll be right back. Okay, we are about ready to start.
Samurai Shodown.
And there you have the epic intro. I'm gonna have to put the yeah, there we go. This is the I'm gonna be playing this on the Saturn pad replica that I have for the PS4. I have two of them. One is the actual replica that actually looks exactly like a Saturn controller. Be surprised at the amount of hits you can parry with Baiken's counter. I'm actually expecting her to... I actually have a thing that I want to try. I'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, the Saturn pad is the best controller. This one is, let's see here, what is it, this one called? Damn, I can't actually make out the name. But it's a fight pad made in the image of a Saturn pad, though it doesn't actually use the official anything. They just made it from scratch to be like the Saturn pad. Anyway, we don't need, because we're actually streaming from the PS4 right now, so it's actually not gonna capture any of my actual inputs like usual. So I'm just gonna take the controller away from Sanky-san, our host. It's a Retrobit one on the one I have for PC is the official Sega one. The one I have for the PS4 is I can't actually make out the brand. I have the box somewhere, but I've been using it for a while. The only thing I can see on the back is the power, the FCCE stuff. But yeah. Okay, so this is Samurai Shodown. If you've been watching me stream Samurai Warriors 5, you will have noticed how I kept mentioning how they are similar in style. And let's go into practice mode, because I've done very little practice with this character. I will also mention that I am not the best Guilty Gear player, especially not with Baiken. Like, I love the character so much, but I was never very good at playing her. But we're gonna pick the black color, and we're gonna make the opponent wear the regular color so we can actually see the difference. So right now we're just gonna look at which moves she actually has. Also, hello, oh, Ember Gem, hello. Very cool to see you here. Yeah, you might know this character. And this, possibly this game. Let's see here. First of all, let's make her stop jumping. I was cheating a little, actually looking into her move list. You can actually hear the Momentary Life theme song going in the back. This is the Samurai Shodown version of the song. Don't have this specific game. Oh, Samurai Shodown is so good. It's actually out on PC now too, so Steam even. Sorry, it wasn't a phone call. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so what I gathered is that her normals are pretty much what she always has. Like, she has the this awkward kick, she has the step kick that she always has. She has the mandatory sweep, just like everyone does. She has the cocky walk from Guilty Gear Rev 2. Where they gave him where they gave her the new walk. Let's see, crouching jab is crouching kick, probably a low. Yeah, there's a new mechanic in this version of the game that wasn't there before, which is the guard crush. And when you hit the guard crush, you can pretty much hit whatever you want. This wasn't in the earliest version of the game, so you just get free damage. Yeah, very sassy. But yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about the character, like why I like her so much. I said this on... Yeah, Tatami Mat Kick, this one. She can still do it in the air too. Or it just falls on the opponent like it did. I like this move so much because it's like... It's one of those moves where even if it appears to whiff, the plank actually falls down afterwards and then hits you anyway. Yeah, she does. She has her DP. You can still only do it in the air. If you do it on the ground, she does nothing. Or like she does whatever button you press. It's a DP motion. But if you jump, you can do it like that, like super fast. So if you're good at TKing DP motions, you can pretty much do it right away. Like super low to the ground. But if you mess up, you just get a whiffed air normal. And it's an awkward motion to do. So definitely you require some practice if you want to do it like that. Otherwise you can just just jump in and do it sort of like a DP, but it's on the way down. But yeah, the motion is pretty awkward. Oh yeah, so let's talk about Baiken. She looks pissed. Why she's like one of my favorite characters. So she debuted in Guilty Gear, the original, not X or Reload or whatever. She was in the game just called simply Guilty Gear, and it was a PS1 title. But that was pretty. It was like a surprise hit because the game was like super crazy. It's extremely poorly balanced though. But it did have some crazy stuff, like extensive air juggles. You can still do some of that here. Let's see here. What is a good way to launch them? Oh yeah. Had some like that. But the original was like way more insane. You could like launch the opponent and hit them for like, I don't know, 20 hits, 20 attacks like easy, even if you didn't know how to play the game. You could just like mash buttons and they would do aerial rave combos. But Baiken was a secret character that was actually surprisingly difficult to unlock. One difference in the Japanese version versus the US version, or the Western version rather, was that there was a code to unlock her in the Japanese version. And if you input the same code into the US version, all that code did was make the game harder, which made her more difficult to unlock, because in the US version you actually had to beat the whole game with Soul or Kai without like actually losing a single match. And Guilty Gear, the original game, was a game that you could lose an entire match in one hit. Like the whole match, not the round. You could lose the whole match because you got hit by a specific move that the opponent could always do. Like always. They always had it ready. It was basically a special move. It was essentially like if you could win by hitting this move. Like just outright win the match. Because it has the same input. You press two buttons together, she does the universal overhead. But yeah, so Baiken was a secret character. She was really hard to find. Hard to even see her in the match. You had to go through Justice, which was like SNK boss syndrome basically. And super hard to beat because she was an SNK boss syndrome character and she knew damn well that she was. What I liked about Baiken though was that yeah, it's pretty crazy, especially like with how they changed the unlocks. Japanese players was like, put in this code, you unlock everybody. US players was like, yeah, you have to 1cc the game. Or you could put in this code, which makes the game harder. And the game is already crazy hard. Like, the AI will hit you with a move that just makes them win the match outright. Like, it will actually start doing that, and like, trying to hit you with that one-hit kill. And then it's like, oh, you got hit by it, so now you lost the match, and therefore you can't see Baiken. Play the whole game from the beginning. But, I think the game came out in like 98. Either way, at the time, one of the things that stood out is that Baiken is... Like, she was such a different character for the time, because there are characters like her now. They have made characters like her since. And, I need to figure out what my buttons are. There we go, that's super. But yeah, she stood out for the time because she was a female character, but she wasn't like a freaking beauty queen. She wasn't like seductive or like super sexualized or anything. She was just a badass with a sword. She had like part of her face is like heavily scarred. You can see like she wears an eye patch because she's actually missing one eye. She's also missing her right arm. Yeah. That's exactly that one. That's the one. If you got hit by that move, you just died. And like your character just died, so there was no second round because they're dead. Not KO'd. They just got buried. But yeah. So back on Baiken, it's like, you think about characters that were out at the time. You had like Chun-Li in Street Fighter, Cammy in Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 as well, and you had like Blue Mary and Mai Shiranui in like the Fatal Fury games. Stuff like that, or like Nina, I guess, in Tekken, or Sarah Bryant and Pai-chan. They were like a bit subtle, I guess, but I think actually Guilty Gear came out before that. Either way, so here comes Baiken, and she's this woman who is like heavily injured, like she actually is missing an arm, missing an eye. She's angry, she's rude, she's loud. She like completely lacks a sense of humor. She smokes, and she has this cocky demeanor about her, and she's like super serious all the time. She just wants to kick people's ass. Like if he gets into a fight, she's gonna be really serious about it. She fights really dirty. Like she only had like she's missing one arm. So what does she do with that? She actually puts different like this like bat thing is hidden under there, and she has this cannon. Like she's using the extra space to put in like bigger weapons that are concealed because she's missing an arm, but she still has the sleeve. Yeah, pretty much. Like I like that. I love that so much about the character because she was so different. She wasn't like typically feminine. She was just a badass. So, and she also has that. She also has the theme song, and at the time, like when Guilty Gear X came out, her original theme song had like the music was played by a shimazen, which is like a sort of like a Japanese string instrument that's kind of like a, I don't know, like a cross between a banjo and a violin. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it was that. And then they changed it in Guilty Gear X to, they switched it from a shimazen to an electric guitar. And back in 2002, I was actually trying to get a soundtrack for like some games that I was ordering from abroad. I was able to get some of them because eBay was a thing. But I could never track down that version of her theme song that was in the original game, where the lead motif was actually played by a shimazen. And the solution, like, it actually bothered me so much that I decided I'm gonna learn how to do music on my PC so I can make a version of this song where there's no electric guitar, there's a fucking shimazen actually playing her theme song, so I can put this on my MP3 player so I can listen to this song, this version of the song, whenever I want. I can't track down the soundtrack, so I'm gonna make my own version of this song. And that's basically the only track I ever did. I don't actually play instruments or know how to produce music. I only did it so I could have a version of Baiken's theme song with a shimazen on my MP3 player. My music career was really short and really dumb. Ah, okay. Very cool. Thank you, Eli, with the knowledge. So anyway, with that story out of the way, actually, let's look at her moveset. So she has this universal overhead thing. Let me actually... Let's see, so that's... Okay, my controller is set up properly. So, let's see here. She has the usual stuff, like you have this dodge. That is a universal mechanic. You have light attack, medium attack, heavy attack, kick attack. You can also throw the opponent. And in Samurai Shodown, it's throws are actually not like this is what a throw actually does. Like it doesn't knock them down, doesn't do anything. but you can follow up on it for free. Like, she's actually set to block if she can. You see that? Like, if I actually delay the attack, she actually does block. Like, that's not guaranteed. But you can actually do stupid shit like you can throw them and then do the, let's see here. Oh, that's the button. Sorry, I'm still... Let's see here. You have the throw, which is... yeah, okay. Oh, wait. That's a move that she has? Huh. Yeah. Let's see here. The sound of a Shimasen, it's a... Yeah, the Shimasen is amazing. I was so disappointed when they replaced the Shimasen with a fucking electric guitar. I was like, what did you do? It's such a nice song, and you actually made a Shimasen sound pretty hype. And then you just switch it out for an electric guitar, and you never change it back. You assholes. But, let's see here. She has the Tatami Gaishi, of course. And then she has, like, this thing. It's sort of like a hook, and you have different follow-ups. You have the grab if they block, and then you have this thing that launches. I'm not sure what the follow-ups are yet. Because you can juggle the opponent after hitting them with this. But I haven't actually. Let's see. Yeah, that's a getting a launch and then something. Yeah, but either way, she has that. She also has this thing, which is her command run from Rev 2. I don't know if this has auto guard, but it used to be in Rev 2 that when she does this command dash, she just blocks, and then she can cancel that block into like these follow-ups. Those are her old follow-ups from the other games. Like this is a classic move that she had. This is a classic move. She can also do this, which is like a command parry, and she can do the same follow-ups of that as well. And then she has, let's see here. This is her super. Let's see here. Yeah, mix of a violin and a banjo. The thing is, like, sometimes they pluck on the Shimasen and it sounds kind of like a banjo. But sometimes they just play with a string or something, which makes it sound more like a violin. So it kind of does both. It doesn't have a whole lot of strings though, so I'm not sure what to compare it to. Yeah. You hear it a lot in like traditional Japanese music. Either way, let's see, I'm just gonna look at the move list to see, let's see, special skill. Oh, she has Gatling combinations. Yeah. Here's all the follow-ups, that's the parry. And she has all of those follow-ups. That's the Amazi is crouching parry with follow-ups. Zuzuran is running parry with follow-ups. Tatami Gaishi is the sort of mat slash plank. Yeah, it only has a couple of strings. I think it's like 3. Let's see here. Kabari is the claw grab attack. Yozanzen is the spinning DP thing she has. Tsurane Zanzu Watashi is the super, and Koboisen Koboizen is the super special. We can actually turn on super special move and give ourselves infinite. And we might need to restart somehow. Oh wait, there it is. This is her secret super. Look at the damage. That's one move, 3 hits. And actually doesn't do a whole... That damage was actually pretty for a secret super. It wasn't anything special. Yeah. Mini guitar thing that you see in geisha actors play. Yeah, that's the one. Man, I'm happy we got this discussion going because the Shimasen is so underappreciated. I'm glad I mentioned that. But yeah, let's see here. There's some very cool stuff in this particular game as well, especially if you haven't played it. So you have this bar down there. This bar, the rage meter. It primarily goes up when you take damage. It makes like taking hits makes your character angry, and when they're super mad, they can do supers. So basic super. No wait, that's not basic super. That's Izen, the cinematic. I haven't played in this controller for too long, it seems. This is the regular super. They made sure to show off in the trailer that she actually has invul during this. You can combo into it off a throw. Everybody has the same input and it makes the opponent drop their weapon, which is generally a good thing because you have to have your weapon for a lot of your attacks to actually come out. Like Baiken probably can't do her DP, this, without her sword, because the sword is a key component of the attack. But she might be able to do like this move, because it doesn't actually use the sword. And then you have, let's see what else. There's a bunch of like universal stuff, like everybody has running attacks, like that are different from your standing attacks. Like that's not her regular slash, it's a sliding version of the same heavy attack. Really fast, damn. What else do you have? You have a command parry. This thing. It can actually, if your opponent attacks when you do this, you can actually knock their weapon away. And if you want your weapon back, you're gonna actually have to go over there and pick it up. And when you pick something up, you leave yourselves wide open. And you do not want to be wide open in a game where people can do stupid shit like pick the weapon up and they hit you with this. And you just lost half your health because you tried to get your weapon back. The thing about the rage explosion is also pretty cool because you can only do it once per match. Oh, thank you. So when you do the rage explosion, you actually sacrifice your super meter, and that goes for like the rest of the match. You get one rage explosion per match. And the cool thing about that is that the opponent can do it too. To like say, because you sacrifice your super meter, you're basically betting that like I need to get this win now. It gives you a massive damage boost, and it also gives you the access to the best attack in the game. Like, check the range and speed of that. Like, if you flinch, this move hits you. But you only get to do it once per match. And once you're done with the Izen, you actually lose access to your super gauge completely for the rest of the match. So you would think that maybe it's a good way to save it for the last round and, like, you know, use it as a comeback mechanic. The interesting thing, though, is that you can actually stop the other person from doing it by activating it yourself. So if somebody's feeling really cocky and they just want to win the match and like not give the opponent an opportunity to have a comeback because they're one round down, so they have nothing to lose, or they might think, you can actually activate it before they do, and now they can't actually do the Rage Explosion and hit you with the Izen. So you can actually stop comebacks by like betting that, hey, I'm actually willing to sacrifice my my super meter just to stop you from stealing another round. I'm just gonna win 2-0. You don't get to have a comeback. Let's see here. Yeah. Thank you so much for the mods. Thank you so much, mods. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. I'm just talking about this amazing game and all the mechanics. But now that we have a better understanding of the mechanics in the game, and we're actually gonna play some Baiken and see what her story is, because I actually have no idea what her story is. There is, if you haven't played the game, there's a like kind of major spoiler about who's the boss in this game. Like, just putting that out there. The boss is really cool, but if you want to save the surprise, yeah, the boss is. Let's see here. Yeah. It's you're supposed to quote unquote embrace death and be able to lay like just have the guts to lay it all on the line. Like actually sacrificing your game mechanics for a giant boost, because when the opponent has the Rage Explosion, you cannot challenge them at all. They just pick up all the ace cards and you just have to deal with it. Getting hit by the Izen is a surefire way to die. Oh yeah, there's also one more thing. Actually, the secret super that I mentioned, you have access to that constantly. Like, you can do that whenever you want. You can do it at the start of the round. It can be the first thing that you do. And some of these do like upwards to like 80% health in one hit. But it's also one of those things where you only get one. You can do it whenever you want. You don't need meter. You don't need a parry. You don't need anything. You can just do it whenever the hell you please. But you only get one per match. So if you want to use it, you better make it count. Yeah, Samurai Shodown. We got Baiken, baby. I did look at Baiken's Secret Super, and I have no idea what the hell that thing is supposed to be actually doing. Let's see here. This is feudal Japan, sort of. I think it's the 1700s.
各地の飢饉や大火、打ち壊しによる混乱は消滅を極め、悪鬼、邪気ともいえる暗雲は今や日の本全土を覆わんとしていた。行けども見果てぬ旅路、敵を求めて違法の知恵と流れ着かん。曇る夜に惑う民、諸行を乱す魔があれば。その首打つのはいずこの剣か。遠からん者は音に聞け、近くばよって目にも見よ。己は微老の三品侍、指導死に花、無用の所存。
With no intent of dying an honorable death. Yeah, basically... Baiken has no interest in like sacrificing herself for like honor and shit. She just wants Gears to fucking die. And like I said, she fights dirty. Like she hides a cannon in her shirt. Because she just happens to be missing an arm, but she still has a sleeve, so she kept the sleeve so she can hide weapons in there. Yeah. Let's see here. Did the game crash? Because that would be pretty funny. No, it didn't. Just long loading times. Yeah, not on my watch. It's like... In the Guilty Gear lore, she's actually a character who is one of the rare survivors from Japan. And because the Gear... Japan was destroyed in the Guilty Gear universe. Now we're just gonna try random stuff. Ah, doesn't quite have the range. I like how she laughs when she gets up. Yeah, Kyoshiro is a kabuki actor. You notice how his whole stage is just like from a play? There's like an audience and everything. Ah, I missed. Oof. Yep. That was the, I mean, it's no big deal against the opponent's AI because they're pretty dumb. But it's like, yeah, Rage Explosion was a thing. And you did a move that's safe on that's unsafe on block and a standing opponent, and because you're even slightly unsafe, now you get hit by the Isen, which just wins the match outright. No comeback. Oh yeah. Because there are very few gears left to kill, she wants to kill the guy who's responsible. Yeah. The thing about it is that, as far as I've seen so far, Baiken doesn't even do, like, particularly high damage for this game. She's just pretty average. Like, many characters actually do way more than she does. Yep, exactly. The Guilty Gear, she wants to find that man. And, turn him into kebab. And here we have Jubei. Guess who he's based on? I'm actually gonna have a cutscene. That's interesting. Or is that just... quick note, this is the one guy in the whole game who actually qualifies as a samurai. Like, that's literally what he is. Everyone else would be, at best, a ronin. But this guy actually works for the government. Oof, oof, oof. You may stay winning. He has high damage and counter hits, which is... Yeah. Yeah, I'm just talking like general with like what her moves does, like heavy slash. Heavy slash is pretty average. She has interesting combos though. Oof. No. You don't get to do that. There we go. She can do like that, because that damage was pretty good. I think I could have followed up with the Dragon Cannon, but he was already dead, so... Oh! You got to keep your trump card hidden or there's no point to do it, right? Yeah, like I said, she's a cheating bastard. Like, oh, you actually brought up both your swords at the start of the fight? That's a poor strategy. I didn't show you my cannon, did I? So... yeah. It's like, you're too honest. That's your problem. Yeah. I feel like Baiken is like leaning towards the playing to win crowd. I was like, if you win, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like if I say I'm better than you and I have a win on you, then I'm right. So... Ah, I missed. Oof. Let's try one of these. There we go. Oof. Ah, that's not cancelable. Oof. Oh no, wrong direction. Everything hurts so much in this game. Haha. No. Yeah, just try to grab the sword. Try to grab your sword. Oh yeah, if you don't have your weapon and you try to block, you actually take damage because you have no metal to protect you. You actually have to block with your hands. You can actually catch the opponent's weapon with your bare hands and take it away from them, but it's really hard. Ooh. Yeah. I saw that in, I think it was Mind, Body, and Kick-Ass Moves, perhaps. Like they actually tried it, and it's like, you can do that in real life, but it's so hard. Yeah. They buffed the weapon pickup in a way that makes it so that the weapon never goes off screen. Like no matter how you get the parry, it will stop at the wall. You can still make it go off screen by like walking the opponent down or comboing them or sending, like knocking them away. But if you knock the weapon away, it will stay on screen. So if you have them cornered, for example, you have to actually back off to make it go off screen. Or if you're cornered, then you have to push them back to make it go away. But yeah, tournaments were like, if you lost a weapon, the match was just over. You could try to grab the weapon, but it's so hard to because you can't really do that on reaction. Some characters do better than others without their weapons, though. You have Wanfu, who is he turns from like some sort of like muscle Shodo into a grappler. If he doesn't have his weapon, he will just pummel you into submission with his hands instead. Because the guy's just pure meat. Here's one of the new characters. He's sort of the main character. No, you don't. Damn, that thing does not have the best range. There we go. Oof. All the blood. Again? Ah, I missed. Yeah, kind of like real life, it's a read. It's like, in some situations, it's like you might as well go for it because you're screwed. But, it's probably not gonna succeed. Third time's the charm. Yeah, I tried to parry, but I did it too early. It's pretty cool that you can just keep doing the super for as long as the meter is burning. Like it doesn't, it gets spent if you get the hit. I think the meter goes away, but outside of that you can just keep trying. So we're gonna try the same thing. Where, oh, he blocked, so let's try it again because he was trying to do something fancy and now his weapon is gone. So now we can just bully him. Oh, okay, so her secret super does not have an invul. And she just walks off. Can't do Death Super with no weapon. Yeah. Your quest means little if you're dead. That's why you must live to see it through, even if it means you lose a battle or two. Yeah. Very practical minded. Green Hell. I keep wondering like what that is. Green Hell, is that a thing? Because I keep seeing it on like video games, but I never hear it in real life. Yeah, the outfit is pretty cool. It's like this like it's sort of like rags, but it's also functional. Here we have the guy Tom Tom. He's he's got a giant sword. That's his thing, is that his weapon is incredibly large. And he's super tall. He's kneeling, and he's as tall as she is when she's standing straight up, and he's basically kneeling. Oof.
Baiken.
Yeah. This guy is huge. I wonder if you can... oh yeah, I like how her kick actually knocks down. Can you actually tiger knee? Oh, you can. Oof. Uh-oh. Yeah, defeated by Tatami. You can actually kill the opponent decisively in this, like actually slice them in half like that. Certain moves will actually kill the opponent. Not just knock them out, you actually like decapitate them or split them in half. Your size makes you an even bigger target. Yeah. It's Tam in a nutshell. He's huge. Yeah. I love the chuckle. That like she gets to stand back up again and she just laughs because she's so cocky. And it's like, yeah, okay, that didn't KO me, so like what was that? I'm not dead yet? Okay. Let's see, a couple more matches and we should be at the boss. The boss is, oh, here we have Tam Tam's sister, the cat girl. She used to be a super terrible character in every game before this. They gave her some massive buffs in this to make her like at least viable for once. She used to be like sort of maybe not one-trick pony, but like she had really good anti-airs and a good super, but everything else was terrible. Oof, that is a lot of damage. Yeah, Chum Chum is absolutely adorable. She's an amazing character. She was just like functionally really bad. Samurai Shodown 2 especially, she was just such a terrible character. She had like a demon flip type move, but all that did was get you killed. Because you had a couple of follow-ups, but if you hit the opponent with the intended move, which was a grab, you gave the opponent a full super meter. Oof, that's not fast enough. Oof. If you got blocked, you got basically Kano Ball punish mode. Uh-oh. Oh no! I pressed the button too late. I meant to switch sides. Okay, let's see here. You don't get to do this to Baiken. Stupid cat. Have a super. Ah, I missed. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't bear to kill her, so I tried to get her with a grab. Chum Chum is amazing. Interesting thing about Chum Chum is that she was tied for being like the first cat girl in like a fighting game. The thing is that technically Felicia from Darkstalkers debuted first, but Chum Chum in Samurai Shodown was already done when Darkstalkers was actually released. They were like just a couple of months apart. So most of the game was done and Chum Chum was already in the game. So she was going to be there regardless of whether Felicia became a character or not. So they weren't actually copying Capcom. They both had the same idea at the same time. It's just Capcom finished their game first. Buddies are calling. Have a great stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, Embergen. We also you also don't get the boss spoiled because this the boss is pretty cool in this. Oh, hello Aria. This is you already know Samurai Shodown. You played it, but yeah, this is Baiken. She's interesting. Yeah, I heard on Event Hubs that she was like, oh, she pretty much has all the tools that she has in Rev 2. It's like, she has the moves, but she doesn't play like a Guilty Gear character per se. She just has some extra oomph that Samurai Shodown characters don't have, but her combos are still like, they're pretty extensive for like Samurai Shodown, but by Guilty Gear standards, not at all. Not even a little. Oh. I struggle with some overlaps. Or it's not actually overlaps, I'm just trying to use macros, but the macros themselves are not what I think they're gonna be. Like, I get special moves, just not the one I expect. Plus it's like literally day one of playing a character. Oh, that didn't combo? I like the range on this overhead. Like, that's actually pretty ridiculous. Oof. No, 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 no. Ah, there's the other cool detail. You see those fans up there? They change colors based on what sort of move you use to win. So I got the purple one because that one was via super. There's one for hitting them with a secret super to win, and there's one for time over, and the red one is for like just a slash. We're slowly progressing towards the boss. Load times in this game are weird. I thought for sure the game crashed before, but it was just that the load screen was long. I don't want to hear any complaints when you die. Haomaru. This guy showed up in Soul Calibur recently. This is probably when the AI is gonna get serious. Yeah, they're both pretty serious about sword fighting, so it makes sense. She's just not letting me have any jump-ins. Ah, I missed. Oh well, could have worked. Oops. Ooh, that counter. Ah, okay. No. And also, sorry, that was the wrong game. You can actually do the rage mode in this when the opponent has it. Now we have to fight without meter. I was thinking of Samurai Shodown 5 special. Oops. There we go. Yeah, the stages in Samurai Shodown games, at least the early ones, are actually based on Hanafuda cards, which is pretty cool. I think all of the stages in Samurai Shodown 2 are actually based on Hanafuda cards. Yeah. I think I was thinking of Samurai Shodown 5 Special, because that's the one I play the most. But that whole game has like mechanics that counter other mechanics. Like there's the meditation mode that makes it so that you can't actually do the rage explosion, but if the opponent can, you can hit them with a fatality that just ends the match outright. So it's one of those things where, do you want to try to use the meditation mode, because the more you put into it, the easier it becomes for the opponent to kill you with a fatality, just decisive move. But the meditation mode is absolutely busted in that game, so you generally want to be able to use it, but you don't want your opponent to kill you before you actually get to. And you also have to go for one or the other. You can't use both. Yeah, this is the special boss. If you don't want it spoiled, just turn off. I know I didn't want it spoiled, so I stayed away from the internet until I could get the game and actually see this boss. And I tried pretty hard not to talk about the boss in this game. Because it is special. It completely, for one, it completely changes the rules. Like, she does not operate like other characters. You have to play by a specific rule set. And she also makes up her own rules. You're not fit to breathe the air in this world. Don't be surprised if I lose to this, because I don't have a strategy. I have an idea, but oh, that doesn't work? Oh, it does, but damn, the timing is weird. Ah, that works pretty well. Yeah, basically you have to get to the squishy part. And try to hurt her as much as possible. But then she can get angry, and then things start going bad. I still have enough health, I think. Ah, damn it! I thought for sure she was gonna turn. She had no health. Okay, so for this one I'm gonna try to cheat a little bit. Ah, damn it. Because if you hit her with a super, she always turns. So we do the super and she turns back again. You can also use the Isin mode to try to finish things early, which is highly recommended because she has no defense against it. Yeah, you will see in this round, you will see how she just plays by different rules. Check out the things she does right away as soon as the second round starts, because she is literally cheating. Now she becomes really pissed. This fight can be either... it's gonna be a quick one, because most of the time it feels like you either lose horribly or you win before she gets anything started. Depending on who you're playing. But now she gets the death mode, and the death mode is... If you're a casual player, it's rough. She can just decide she's gonna win. Okay, so look closely. She starts doing a super before the round is even... it hasn't even started yet. She just decides, I get to do this before you can even move. There we go. Okay, now she's really angry. Gonna stay away. Okay, she's back to normal. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna... ah, damn it. I was gonna super, but the meter on... and I'm dead. I'm dead. Yeah, when she decides to do this, you just die. I didn't see the death stare. And if you don't see that, you are in trouble. But yeah, that's how this fight works. When Shizuka gets angry, she starts hurting a lot. Eesh. Oof, that was a bad idea. Oh, come on, do the run, please. No. Ah. She switches to a mode where she starts doing moves that can end you very quickly. You get to see the... like, she gets a skull and she starts playing her instrument. When that happens, you need to watch out. I have the worst luck with the timing of this super. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see here. She's like in Abyss in MVC2. Yeah. Yeah, she technically has 3 different forms, but the first 2 are pretty similar. For the second form, she just removes her mask, but she seems to fight pretty much the same. But then when the skull face comes out, which it can do very quickly, that's when things start getting really bad. Ah, that was a move, that's pretty good. Ah, God, I need to get better at doing that combo. Oof. There we go with the timing. Doesn't do too much damage though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, the skull is gone. Oh no! The skull is back! I didn't see it. Yeah, this battle is intense. Some characters actually don't struggle at all. Because they have like heavy hitting multi-attacks that move them forward. This seems to be a good move to just spam though. It would also help if I could get this something like a B&B off of this. And it also definitely helps if you can get the first round, so you actually have another attempt. Wow, that is actually pretty good. No, you don't get to do that anymore. Just die. There we go.
Baiken.
5:20 a.m. Going to lurk until I sleep. Have a pleasant stream. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, let's skip this cutscene and get to the... I kind of want to try the parry, but I don't know if it works. Ah, that only works in the corner? Okay. Still, that's pretty good damage. Uh-oh. Okay, let's just super away through. Make sure she goes away. Damn it. He has full meter. I don't trust this. There it is. He's doing the thing again. Okay. Oh wait, super meter is still there. That wasn't hit! No! Playing by her own rules. Punishing moves on hit. She gets hit by a crouching medium attack and she counters with a super. That wins the round. That's fun. At least she gave us an opportunity here, so... Does that not work in the open, or am I messing up? Ah, thank you. No thanks. Okay, she has full super again. Oh no! You see the damage she can do? She just wins whenever she wants to. Yeah. Yeah, you saw that arrow? Like she teleported behind me, so I actually ended up blocking the wrong way. And then she hit me with that, and it's like, yeah, you're just dead now. So, yeah, this boss is something extra. But it's like most of the SNK bosses. Most of them are like this. It's called SNK boss syndrome for a reason. And she isn't even like that bad for an SNK boss. She's just... Okay, she could actually die from... Oh, okay, cool. Okay, let's try parrying that super now. Please work. Otherwise we're off to a rough start. You actually have like a fraction of a second to do something. Okay, that did not work. Not a good start. Not a good start at all. Oof. Yeah, I'm dead. At least he doesn't do the super at the start of the third round. And you also get to keep your meter, so you can be a bit cheap about getting that first super. So now we almost have a full super, which is perfect. So as soon as she turns back, we can just hit her with super again. Which is a really good advantage. Also, combos don't actually have to work. Because you can't block in this form anyway. Oh, what? Okay, thank you. She punished me with a super with the move that caused the super to come out. Like, she got full bar and she immediately does that. Oh my god. This character. Oh my god. I hit her with a crouching heavy slash, which filled up her super meter barely, and she instantly punishes with a super. Yeah, SNK boss syndrome. The strategies that you employ for this boss are usually like pretty dumb, actually. Or at least the ones that I found for like the other characters when I tried to 1cc the game with everybody. It's like everybody had something that they just rely on to do like over and over. Like just use this move a lot. Use this move a lot. I forget who it was, but there's a character that can beat her by simply doing like a multi-hitting jumping attack. Just over and over. Just keep holding up forward and do that move. She actually does lose health when she's in that form. So you can actually kill the big Shizuka. She takes very little damage, but she does take a little. So you can actually kill the big one. Yeah, we're not parrying this time. We're gonna crouch and just get the super right away. Get this ball rolling. Yeah. Shiki's DP is like a good example. Ah, actually got the parry this time. There we go. Please stop. Ah. Ah, so afraid. Please don't hit me with the super. Ah, she doesn't have to. She's gonna start the next round with a full bar. No, that's a grab. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, can't expect that to happen. Okay. Please lose your bar. Oh! Oh, what? Okay, I have an idea. Please work. Ah, I didn't do enough damage. No. No. Using the Izen to finish her off right then and there is usually a good strat, but it didn't do enough damage. Yeah, switching a characters would definitely be easier. I'm still getting used to Baiken. I feel she's like so awkward to play because she's I mean, I love the character, it's just I feel like I don't actually know what I'm doing right now. My timing is so off. And I also don't understand how her B&Bs work. Ah, crap. I could also be paying a little more attention to what Shizuka actually does. No, you're going back in the corner. That's Rising Storm, yeah. Or Raising Storm, or Raging Storm, depending on who's translating which King of Fighters game. Geese Howard made that move popular. And in one of the games, I think it's King of Fighters 98, it's called both Raging Storm and Raising Storm in the same game, depending on what mode you're playing. It actually uses both names. Oh yeah, another thing about this game is that it doesn't have a thing called Absolute Guard. You can actually stop blocking while they're doing certain moves. I think that's about the max you can actually do. Oh. Ah, finally. Okay. No! Wasted a super. Please go squishy. Yes, okay. I think we got her. Please die. There we go. Whew. That took way longer than I wanted. Some characters that definitely struggled with this battle, but usually it doesn't take this long. Yay! Now we get, I think we get Baiken's ending, but because we didn't want CC, we don't get the artwork. If you really struggle though, you can just put the game on the easiest setting. And if you play on the easiest setting, this boss battle is actually like pretty trivial. So this game is actually a prequel to pretty much all of the other games. Except maybe 5, I'm not sure. Because the timeline in Samurai Shodown is kind of weird. Where it's like the game's order, I think, is like before this it was like 5, 1, 3, 4, 2. 64-1, 64-2, Warrior's Rage, something like that. Let's see what her ending is. Okay, so it's 5, this, 1, 3, 4, 2. And then 6 doesn't really fit into the timeline because it both... actually, let's look at it. Tilt the cup towards the trees. It is the magnificent scene of a glorious spring, a peaceful flower that blooms. Samurai Shodown Zen, I'm not sure. So her whole ending is a piece of poetry.
何とぞよしなに閻魔殿。
That's pretty vague. The Ryu ending? Yeah, something like that. It's definitely like, yeah, it's, the whole ending was basically poetry slam, which is pretty cool, but also like doesn't really go into any plot details. Yeah, since we beat the game, we might as well watch the credits. The song is pretty cool. Yeah, Soul Bad Guy, yeah. She's Japanese. So, and this is her going back to her own country's past. Samurai musicians. Kendo Masters. And of course it uses the Unreal Engine. Man, that song is so good. I do like the I do like that they got Baiken. I mean, not just because she's an amazing character, but because it's so fitting for her to show up in Samurai Shodown. Not because it makes any sense, but because, again, it's such a huge deal that she's a Japanese survivor, and she gets to go back and explore her like her heritage, basically. And I love that they didn't just pick the main character like they usually do, because when they have, say, a Street Fighter crossover, it's always going to be Ryu. When they do Virtua Fighter crossovers, it's always going to be Akira. If they add other characters, it's usually because they already have the main guy. But for this one, they actually picked the character that fit the best rather than who is the main character. Because they may have considered... They may actually have considered like putting Kai Kisuke or Soul Bad Guy in there. Because they definitely have swords, but they don't have the same connection to like samurai or history or, you know, Japan like she does. So I thought it was awfully fitting. I was really happy to see that they actually went for the thing that they almost never go for otherwise. Yeah, you definitely said that. Multiple people told me that, hey, it's gonna be Baiken, it has to be Baiken, it doesn't even make sense for them to use Kai. What the hell is he gonna do? Also, Soul in this game? Yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. We also have this recent, the one that I personally predicted, because he's in all of the endings. You saw him show up right at the end of the credits. And because he's the bad guy of the game that comes immediately after this in the timeline, we have Amakusa. He was the second most recent character. He also got some buffs in this version. They apparently made this fireball invincible when he's actually doing the teleport. He's also the character with the biggest combo ever in this game. Because a lot of the combos are gonna look something like that, or maybe maybe something a little more fancy. Let's see, how does this move actually work? Wow, I cannot. Let's see, does he have... Yeah, you might get a jump in or something. Usually it's like you get a 2-in-1 or possibly like something into a link that goes into a 2-in-1. Or you do like grab super like this. But then this guy has the slaps. The slaps. This move. Like, you see how many hits that did? 22 hits, which is crazy by Samurai Shodown standards, because even the biggest combos are usually like less than 10. Let's see here. Anji would be a secondary choice, but why would they do that? Yeah. Let's see. They apparently gave him a buff on this move. Oh, wow. This move has very little recovery now. It's not instant, but damn, the difference is huge. Let's see, he also got a buff on Dark Destroyer. No, wait, that was the one. There was another one. Judgment Blow. Oh yeah, okay, so apparently Judgment Blow, this one, he's fireball invincible if he actually gets the move started. So if he starts slapping you, you're just gonna take the whole thing. Apparently he could theoretically be hit by a fireball after already starting this move. But yeah, Amakusa is one of the few characters who is actually supposed to be the real person from history. I mentioned him during the Samurai Warriors 5 stream as like most of these guys are inspired by somebody from real history. Like you have Charlotte, who's basically just a Jeanne d'Arc from France. The what would you say, crusader, I guess you could call her, kind of, sort of, female knight. She's in the Dynasty Warriors games, or the Warriors Orochi games, rather. But this guy is actually a real person. Yeah, Joan of Arc. That she was called Jeanne d'Arc in French. Like, that's her actual name. But yeah, Joan of Arc. Also known as Jane in World Heroes. Who is actually, like, supposed to be her. They just changed the spelling a bit to be able to trademark it. But Amakusa Shiroto Kizada was apparently a real person who was a Christian missionary who got burned on the stake for his blasphemy, basically. And this version of him came back from the dead to basically exact revenge on the regime, and he became a worshipper of Ambrosia. And Ambrosia is the main antagonist of all of Samurai Shodown. And the thing about Ambrosia is that she's pretty interesting in that Ambrosia is so ungodly overpowered that if she ever actually shows up in person, that is just the end of the world. Like, nobody can actually fight Ambrosia at all. Like, at all. They don't even get to try to fight. She just wins by being there. And it ties into this character because you actually have a sequence in Samurai Shodown 2, which is pretty cool, where you actually get to see what happens when somebody actually challenges Ambrosia and actually tries to win. This guy came back from being burned at the stake. He came back from being, like, sliced open by the combined might of, it's like several characters. I think it's Haomaru, Nakaru, Galford, Tum Tum, and I think Earthquake? Either way, it was like a several people just tore into him and killed him. He came back from that again and possessed Hanzo's son. Then he got killed again. He got revived by Sankuro to be basically zombie Jesus. He got killed again. And then he tried to fight Ambrosia. And that fight went a little something like this. She faces off with the heroes and just absolutely annihilates them before they even realize what the hell is going on. Amakusa actually gets between them and her and says, hey, I'm actually going to try to do the right thing for once and save these guys, so you're going to have to fight me. She takes one look at him and just evaporates him. Like, you just see her eyeball look at him, and he just goes down, and he never comes back from that. He just stays dead for the rest of the franchise. The guy who came back from the dead, like freaking Rugal Bernstein, who kills himself for fun. She did that to him. She didn't even try to fight him. She just looked at him, and he just vaporized. And he never came back. Like, the guy died, what, 4 times? And Ambrosia is just like, yeah, you're not all that. She blinks, and he's just dead. So, because there's actually, like, a lot of story to Samurai Shodown. But it's really tragic. Like, so many of these characters, like, let's just look at these. Nakaru, by the end of the story, actually dies. She sacrifices herself, becomes a forest spirit. Ukyo, he suffers from tuberculosis. He tries his whole life to find a cure. He finds a cure, but then finds out that his girlfriend has contracted the disease as well. So he gives it to her, and then he dies basically crying, like he's so sad about how he wasn't able to have the life that he wanted, and writes a death poem and just perishes. Um, Genjiro has a rivalry with Haomaru. He spends like a lot of his time just trying to one-up this guy. He's like a pretty bad guy. Like his mother was basically a prostitute, and he saw her get, well, lots of guys were in there, and he just lost all respect for humanity at that point. So he became like very vengeful and angry and just lashing out at people. That's why like he's so harsh. He he actually develops like a mutual respect for Haomaru, because he's like, Haomaru is so good that Genjiro just can't like win outright against him very easily. Like he actually has to try really, really, really hard, and he never has to do that with anyone else. Like he gets into a fight, he just kills people, and that's it. And then Haomaru gets into like a scuffle where he actually looks like he might get jumped by like a whole gang of people trying to kill him, and Genjiro actually decides, hey, I'm actually gonna step in because you don't get to do that to my rival. I'm gonna kill him. You can't do that. He does that and gets killed in the process. Like he tries to do the right thing that one time and gets murdered for his efforts. And old man Haomaru, towards the end of the plot, actually like drinks to his buddy Genjiro. Like I think it's like every time it's like his birthday or the day he died or something like that. He keeps doing that, but Haomaru becomes an old man, and he keeps like doing that on occasion. Hanzo Hattori. Basically also based on the same guy, but it's also technically not supposed to be Hanzo Hattori. But he sacrifices himself to save his son. He gets killed. His son has a terrible, terrible, terrible career and basically disgraces the whole family. So good job there. Earthquake gets stuck in the Dark Realm because he's greedy, so he's trapped forever. Let's see here. Chump Chump gets her banana and retires, as does her brother. Rimi gets to watch her sister die. She's really sad. Yeah, I don't want to even talk about what happens to this guy, or this guy, or this guy. Mina finds out that her best friend in the whole world killed everybody in her village, but she can't bring herself to kill the little piglet, so she actually kills herself. Or rather, she kills her best friend, basically, and then she gets so sad about the way things went, so she offs herself. So it's like, the story is like, actually gets super dark and really sad. So many of the characters like end up in just these horrible predicaments and just die. Basara never stood a chance to begin with. He accidentally kills his lover, comes back from the dead as basically a ghost zombie thing, and he basically gets all Scorpion, where he's doomed to live for eternity, but he can't join his loved one because she's in heaven, and the only place he's ever gonna go is going to hell. He tries to make right, and he's on the right path, but then Ashra shows up and kills him and just imprisons him in hell for all of eternity and takes his place as the ghoul. So Ashra gets to do the things that he wants instead, and Basara just gets screwed over. If Genjiro had a son in Warrior's Rage, I'm not actually sure. Hanzo does for sure. But yeah, so many of these characters just die. It's and the bad guys in Samurai Shodown, like they do some really heinous shit. Like some of them are, oh, hello. Let me give a wave to. Yeah, I did go over Ukyo's story. It's really, really, really sad. Yeah, I'm pretty sad and sick. He spends most of his career just trying to get he tries to find a flower that's in the dark realm that can cure any disease, and because he's suffering from tuberculosis, he is pretty much done unless he can find it. He actually finds the flower, finds out that his girlfriend contracted tuberculosis, and also found another guy, and he wants them to be happy. So he gives the flower to her, and then he gets really sad at the end because his whole life has been wasted. Also, hello Sophie Catgirl. Yeah, Okio is chased by women, but he has he already has a girlfriend that she's the only one for him. He's pretty adamant about that. That's why he runs away. And he also doesn't want to, because he suffers from tuberculosis, like he's well aware that he's super popular with the ladies, but he doesn't want them to contract this horrible disease, so he actually tries to, you know, social distance, because he doesn't want them to die the way he does, or that he's about to. So, yeah. Anyway, we have a giveaway that was actually like 20 minutes ago. But we haven't done it yet, so we're gonna do the giveaway now. It's for a game called Still There. It's when I pick these games, I usually pick from, well, all of these codes that I just have lying around, and this one is for a game called Still There. And because this is Baiken Baby, the stream where we played through the story mode of Baiken and got our asses handed to us by the boss for a while. But yeah, it's the Baiken theme. I do try to pick games that are somehow related to the theme. This is not samurai related, it's not actually even a fighting game. But Still There is an interesting title because Baiken is still there, even though she's not in Guilty Gear. She's in this game instead. So I'm just gonna read the introduction and see if you can pick up on why I picked this game. Still There is a story-driven psychological adventure game about lingering grief, technical puzzles, wacky AIs, and dark humor. Evade the past, welcome oblivion, make the perfect Italian coffee. Because Samurai Shodown is, like I said, really, really dark, but it's also pretty funny. So, yeah, to get the game, we're gonna do the usual thing. I say something, you type it in the chat, and you get the code for the game. I do have to have some sort of way to send it to you on, because it's a Steam code. I have to be able to send you the code. Usually it's by following me on Twitter, so it's like not hard. Either way, to get the game, Still There, psychological game that is about like grief and humor at the same time, kind of like this game. All you need to do is type in Baiken Baby and you will get the code. Whoever does it first gets the game. Let's see here. Gonna play the type. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Type it in the chat. It's where you type it. And Eli with the steal once again. So Baiken Baby. Yeah, you gotta be quick because this guy is in the chat and he doesn't mess around. So you get the game. Congratulations, Eli. I will send it to the usual place, and wow, it feels like these streams are just half of the point is giving you free games, because you're always so quick. How many does that make now? Let's see, you got the last 7 in a row? Yeah, you get another one. So, yeah, since we're on the topic of DLC characters, we're gonna check out Shiro Tokisada Amakusa. This guy. Christian missionary turned villain. Yeah. Yeah, you got the one because you were so on the money I couldn't actually tell who was first. Both messages came in at the same time on my end, I couldn't tell. I was thinking maybe I could do like a raffle thing. So for this one, we're gonna play Amakusa, the other DLC characters. He loved the people who killed him and the world that betrayed him. Yeah, because God abandoned him. The only being strong enough to actually finish this guy off and make him stay dead was Ambrosia, who's the main villain of Samurai Shodown. You never actually see her though, you only see parts of her. You see part of her upper body in the first game, you see her eyes in the second game, you see her hands in one game. But you never actually see the whole Ambrosia character. You even see her brain in another game. But yeah, the thing is, if Ambrosia ever shows up, everybody loses and everybody dies. She just ends everything by just being present. Yeah, Amakusa dies several times. He dies in the first game, he dies in the second game, he dies in the fourth game. I wouldn't be surprised if he dies in this game too. Let's find out. So he has fireballs, he has teleports, he has the multi-slap, and he has whatever this thing is. He also has some interesting jump-in attacks. He's probably the character that actually changed styles the most. In Samurai Shodown 6, they actually like put both of his versions together. So he had a long range mode where he had normals like this, and he also had like a short range mode. So he was kinda like Dalsim for a bit, where he could like change up his normals. Axelo with a fireball. Yeah, yeah. Like, you see the range on these things? Like, that's his sweep. Like, that range? Like, holy crap. Oh yeah, I think he actually has one more move that I haven't done yet. Shiki is also a super tragic character. She never gets a break. Yeah, he chose to become a fireball instead, pretty much. That's like actually one of his it's a move that he always had. The comet thing. He had that in the first game, and he also had the slaps. But it was very different than that game, because it wasn't like a combo, it was just like he did attacks super fast. In this one, it's more of a, like he does a couple of jabs, and if one of them hits, he does the whole thing, and if you block it, he just stops. Shiki is like, do you want to know what it's like to roll a 1 on a d20 die every time? Yeah, pretty much. Her whole life is like that. She never gets a break. She spends most of her life being like controlled by what's that guy called? Yuria? You something? Oh, that was a mistake. Still, gotta make it count. Still, I want to try something. Yeah, Demon Sword guy, and then she realized she had a child, and the child gets screwed over too. So it's just oof. I don't need neither. I have fireballs. Good fireballs. Let's see. Ah, no, he was too close. Yeah, he has these as well. That's a hit throw with that range. I think it's also an overhead. He just oozes supernatural magic. Your soul shall be the foundation. He likes collecting people's souls, and he has this weird thing where he likes souls that are of a certain color. In what game did Samurai Shodown 3, I think it was? Or 4, I can't remember. I think it's in 3 that you actually get to see his death poem, where he actually talks, like you actually get to see his last thoughts. Like what he actually thinks of his predicament, and how he just absolutely loses it at the end. And just becomes like super sad. But that is what ultimately happens to him. Like most of the characters either retire or die. There are only a couple of exceptions, and most of those characters are the newer characters in the games that take place the furthest into the future. Like Mina here is alive for 2 whole games. Mina is also a long-range character, but they switched up how she works a lot. Like, when she charges her arrows like that, it's actually a stance instead of just being her normals. So she can't just press buttons to shoot fireballs anymore. But she can use her stance just fine. Oh, let's try the new buff. Oh. Do that again, please. Or I'm gonna do this. And it did not connect. Okay, one more. Yeah. There we go. That's the new buff in action. He actually goes through fireballs. But yeah, the Ukyo's death poem is definitely in Samurai Shodown 3, if you want to read it. It's you just beat the game with him and you get to see it. Oof. Yeah, she can shoot upwards too. Oh, come on, I'm actually trying to approach. Biggest combo in the game. After this. She didn't get the bad ending. Well, technically that it hasn't happened yet because Champeru is still around. So she hasn't actually done the thing yet. Because she doesn't do the thing until Champeru is actually dead. Fireball invisibility? Nope. Okay. Throw at us. Ah, no. Secret Super. This is gonna kill by 800%. Splat. Okay. So we made sure that Mina finally met her canonical ending. Any more questions? What it makes the Samurai Shodown series a bit confusing about what's actually canon or not is that they take place in like such a weird order. So everybody's alive in this game because it takes place so early in the plot that nobody has really met their end yet because nothing really happened yet. I think the only guy who died at this point is Gao. And he was screwed from day one, so he was never gonna make it past the first game. I wonder how the hell you fight the boss with this character. Because zoning is... I mean, helpful, but you also want... I think this is part of the main story, but I don't think they've actually confirmed one way or another. It's just that the way it's written, it fits in with the timeline really well. So until they do a sequel, I don't think we know for sure. It's more about, like, they haven't said it's a reboot, but they also haven't said that it isn't. Because it doesn't have to be, because it fits the story pretty well. But they could also decide in the next game that, nah, because we did this, we're actually gonna start the story over, so it's a reboot now. Yeah, the thing about that is the way I read that was that it's like they didn't mean reboot as in we're actually gonna restart the plot, but reboot as in we're gonna go back, like we're gonna set it kind of like, you know, Street Fighter Alpha, where it's like this takes place before Street Fighter 2, you know. So it was like less of a let's actually remake the story from scratch and more of a let's start at an earlier point and reintroduce characters like the who's who of Samurai Shodown, so we can show them off to a new audience. But if you're already a fan, you already know who these guys are and what they're about, and we're just gonna expand on that. Yeah. But it still fits into the story because she's just being controlled in this one anyway, so it doesn't change her backstory at all. They just made her. They just put a game into the story where she was still one of the dolls of Ambrosia. Because we already knew that that was what her backstory was, and this game just shows off a part of that. Yeah, no respect for Genjo. Amakusa doesn't respect anyone. Like, anyone at all. He doesn't even respect his boss. He actually tries to fight the damn thing. And when there's an evil zombie version of him in 4, he has no respect for that guy either, and that's literally him. I was like, oh yeah, this is how I used to be, so I don't like that person, I should kick his ass. Even though it's like my own corpse. I love this picture in the background. Because it's a callback to Samurai Shodown 2. But they changed some stuff where they added new characters, like Yoshitora is right there. And also she put herself front and center. Yeah. I'm a bit sad that they didn't add Ashura as well. Can you actually do this in the air? Nope. Seems you have to do it. Whoa! Oof. She does not care. I don't think that was punishable, but the AI doesn't care. Okay, fireball is... Oh, she parried that? No! Couldn't have timed it better. Hello Slim, what's up? We're past the Baiken part, we're doing the other DLC character, that is the most recent one. The second most recent one, I mean. Amakusa. I actually haven't seen his ending yet. I'm curious to see, like, does he die in this too? Because he does that a lot. Yeah. Baiken is pretty cool, but I will say playing her in this was awkward as hell. Because she's part Guilty Gear character and part Samurai Shodown character. She has surprisingly like capable juggles and stuff, but not at all like in Guilty Gear. So behind on this game. Oh, so you don't mind seeing Amakusa then? As for those you swore to protect. Yeah, he just wants to kill everyone. Including other bad guys. He doesn't like them either. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they added a guard crush in season 2. That's pretty interesting, but I haven't actually seen it in a real match yet, but it's pretty wild. If you guard break the opponent, you just basically get to do whatever the hell you want to them. You have an eternity to follow up on it, and it's a huge screen effect that it's just impossible to miss, and you have like a good several seconds to follow up with whatever you want. Almost bought him when the time came, but I couldn't justify it. Oh, okay, I just bought the season pass because Chum Chum. She's so cool. Yeah, no, we're not. This is how you fly. They gave Amakusa some buffs in this. Apparently, this is Fireball invincible now. Ooh. And you also can't hit him out of this multi-slap thing if he actually gets the thing started. Which is makes sense, because you shouldn't be able to. Yeah, this thing. Yeah. Cool mechanic. Yeah, it actually solves like some issues where, like, say a rage explosion becomes a little better because you can't just sit there and block now. You actually have to like try to do something if they decide to bully you. Because it's so scary when they have Izen ready to go. You can't really press any buttons. It's the only thing that makes sense is to run away. But because they can guard break you now, it gets scary, because if they just guard break you, they get to hit the Izen anyway. So you might get put in a position where you have to decide, like, am I actually gonna sit there and let them do it to me, or am I actually gonna start challenging what they're doing? Maybe I should throw out a parry or something, or try to get a combo in to waste time. They also did some other minor changes, like they made the parry is both better and worse. It makes a little more sense to do it in some situations, but it also has counters now. Like the opponent can hit you with running jabs without losing their weapon, so they can actually like trip you up. Like if you can have the whole thing going on where it's like, I know that you can get a parry, so I'm gonna do this move instead so that it doesn't work. The super part is you think you're getting guard broke, but the guy just... Yeah, exactly. Like, because it becomes like a whole new mind game where, like, they think that they're just gonna guard break you and get the Izen, but then you turn it around. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna throw you and super, and then you don't have your weapon, so you can't do the move. Or they call you out, and it's like, yeah, I predicted that you were going to do exactly that, so here's the Izen, and now you're dead. So it becomes an interesting little mind game, for sure. Oof. No, you don't. Low tier main. Kyoshiro. Kyoshiro is probably the character outside of Shiki. He's probably the guy that got the most amount of buffs. Like they retooled his frog so many times to make it a viable tool. Like they made it faster, less recovery, then they changed it to an actual command throw. I'm not even sure where his frog ended up. But they made a lot of his shit like faster, like to make his moves, because he's supposed to be able to like just bully you and chip you to death. They made a lot of moves like recover faster, so he can actually stick to his game plan. His fireballs is so good now. Yeah, this thing, it's just unblockable now. You can see it coming a mile away, but doesn't matter if you can't block. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. But you had Kyoshiro in Samurai Shodown 5 Special. Like the guy he was one of those characters where he did so much chip with his moves that in some cases you would rather get hit. Like when they did a freaking flame, and it's like, I could just take the hit and just be done with it, or just sit here be blocking for like an eternity. But yeah, Kyoshiro's jump is floaty, but his jump itself is a mix-up because his stuff that he can do in the air is ridiculous. It's actually kind of scary to even try to anti-air him because his dive attacks are so fast. Like, you're probably not gonna hit him before he hits you. And then you might as well block because it's punishable. But you also can't just have him jump all day. Yeah. Like I said, Samurai Shodown 5 Special Kyoshiro is just... Sometimes you would just rather take the hit because blocking the move is so bad. I'm not sure where he ended up on the tier list. I think Kyoshiro was in the like viable category. Now he's doing the Joker impression. Yeah. Well, they overdid it a bit at first, and then they started going back. They started backtracking a bit to make him a little more like that. So, it seems like Kyoshiro is actually pretty good now. Yeah. Super viable, but still, like, most of the characters in Samurai Shodown 5 Special are, like, viable, as in, like, you can totally use them. Because a lot of it was, like... You know, like, if you can actually get those parries going, you can win against anyone. But it's also, like, probably not going to work. Like, Homer here, when he got a parry and he got the super slash, it was just, yeah, he got the one parry and that was the round. You're just dead now. Because you did the one thing. Or in the case of Hitsumaru, was like, yeah, you might struggle a bit with like, some of the better footsie characters, but then you get that charge move, and all of that was for nothing for the opponent. Like, they can have the upper hand the whole match, and then you just get the charge move, and you just win. Ooh, scary. Okay, damage scaling. Thank you for letting me live. Oof. Wasn't SS5 Perfect supposed to be the superior version? Depends on who you ask. It's a little different. It's better in some ways and worse in some ways. Like gameplay wise, it's pretty much the same game as far as I know. Like the balance is still the same. You still have at least a lot of the glitches are still there. Like Enja still has his speed up glitch that is just completely broken. Basically, it's like there's more to the game if you're playing like the game in single player. But if you're playing in multiplayer, you might as well play 5 Special. Because 5 Special, at least on the PS4, has the GGPO netcode, which is just superior. And since the gameplay is the same, versus matches are going to be better on the whatever has the best netcode. Yeah, it has perfect in the title. Yeah, most of the changes are like just like fluff. Characters have every character has a new color. Every character has a story mode and a proper ending. The arcade mode is a little more like better balanced. It's actually like the AI is not as ridiculous. It's actually a bit more playable. But the versus matches are largely the same, and it uses like the fatalities are like the half censored versions from the factory fixed AES release, which is like it doesn't change the gameplay at all, but it changes the animations. Because you get the weird stuff like when Rasetsumaru does his Kano fatality, he pulls out the heart of the opponent, but in Perfect there's just blood spraying out of his hand. He doesn't actually grab a heart, it's just tons of blood shooting out. Okay, how the hell do we fight this character with Amakusa? We'll have the long range normals, which is a good thing, but outside of that... Okay, that seems pretty nice actually, because it messes with her... okay. Oh, that does okay damage. He's so slow though. This actually seems like a pretty decent strategy, you know? Yeah, okay, this is the move to go, because it completely messes with her ability to actually target you properly. Become the fireball! Yeah. And also this combo actually seems to add up to be really good in terms of like how much damage you actually get on the squishy version. So we're gonna become the fireball. And, oh my god, she just completely whiffs everything when you're in this. That is actually really good. And now she's gonna start cheating. Because Shizuka is, Shizuka does not play fair. She's an SNK boss, and SNK bosses start matches with supers before the round starts. Yeah, she's just completely unable to deal with that. What? Yeah, what is neutral when you are the fireball? I wonder if we can sneak in another hit there. No, okay, cannot. Okay, she has full meter though. Can she actually deal with... Oh wait, what am I doing? This super. I love how this always makes her turn. You only need to get one hit and she still turns. Oh, that's so much damage for just one. Okay, okay. Now I'm afraid though. She has full meter. She's gonna do the fucking arrow again. Or is she gonna whiff if I do this? Oh, okay. This is fine though, because I'm probably gonna survive. Okay. Let's try the ultimate tactic. Let's see. 1. Hopefully that's enough. Let's see. And then do 1 more. Please work. Yes. No! I should have just done the super right away, damn it. Because with the rage mode I could have actually damn it. Okay, so we're just gonna be the fireball. I was getting a bit too cocky with that one. I should have just immediately supered. Yeah, needs more fireball for sure. Let's see, if you do the fireball with light attack, maybe... Ah, okay. So you want to do the heavy one, so you actually give her time to whiff. Oh. Maybe that was a bit too early, actually. I could have done some more damage, but let's see. How much does this actually do? That did not do enough. Oh, he can actually get this fight done. But that gamble at the end of the first round was a mistake. Could have worked, but I should have saved it for the second round. First round is in the bag though, because oof, this is maybe we can try. Oh, yeah, we're gonna. No, I don't think so. I think the damage adds up because there are so many hits that her high damage scaling just doesn't kick in properly. Because there's too many hits. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah. Let's try to get as many hits in because she doesn't start attacking until the light arrows, whatever they are, arrive. You can actually get a surprising amount of damage in with this guy. Let's just block this. Oh my god. She responded to that input. I tried to do the ball, and as soon as I hit forward, she just immediately supered. Bad girl. Bad. Let's see if we can get some advantage here though. That is a lot of damage to get in on just one squishy. Oh, what? Grab right away? Come on. Oh, come on! I couldn't have avoided that. Overhead and a command throw at the same time. Damn it. That setup was disgusting. Okay, also note to self, save Secret Super for the last round. Yeah. Oh, come on. Best thing about that is that you can actually delay it. So if you see something coming, you can actually hold it off for a little bit. So many slaps. Oh. Ah. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, game. Ah, no, my super. Is this gonna be enough? I'm not sure. Please be enough. Nope. Okay. Ah, she snuck one in there. I couldn't tell if that was the sword or the blade spinning. Still really close. Like, this guy definitely has what it takes. It's just you have to either have some guts or be lucky. Also, his teleport should actually be a better tool now to like actually get in on the inside range. Oh, immediately with the command throw again. Damn you. Be the fireball. Be the fireball. There we go. More slaps. Shizuka for strive. Oh no. You really want a character like that? Who can do shit like, oh, you hit me with an HS? I'm gonna punish that with a super. On hit. Now we get angry, Shizuka. You shall pay for this. And she starts with a super. Huh, so you can actually get the first transformation for free by just teleporting in and hitting her with heavy attacks. Yeah. The match has to be decisive. She won't give in simply because you win with a time over. Oh, come on, that was on a hit! Ah! Okay. With the grab again. Okay. He does not care. At least it gives us a free way in this time. So, I'm just gonna teleport and super right away. And she goes squishy. Oh. Ah, that doesn't do more damage either. It really seems to be like this. He probably has something better, but I'm not sure. This, with the grab again, I can't see. Okay, at least we get to stop this nonsense. Okay, so let's first do this. And that. And then hit her with the secret super. And then we're gonna make a big gamble. Try to finish this. There we go. Just use all the win harder mechanics can work out. I actually went a lot better than I expected the last round. I need to remember that for like every other character. Just start rage mode, at least if you're in the last round, and try to hit her with the super and then use the Isn't to finish her off, because if she's at half health, you can probably squeeze out the last damage. Especially if you get a secret super. Fan service. I don't think Amakusa had anything to do with that. He didn't want to save you. You were not a villain, and he doesn't like competition. It's pretty simple. Let's see what his ending says, though. That face. That face. Shinzo Hattori. Oh yeah, that's Hattori Hanzo's son. He basically hit him with the Dio. Put his head on Shinzo's head. Neck. 1788. 1788. Ah, we're back where we started. I like how this particular piece of art is actually done in the classic style. Like it looks like a lot like his the hand-drawn art from Samurai Shodown 1. It's not completely that style, but they tried. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we can skip this, I think. Or no, we can't. When did he first appear? Amakusa was the first villain in Samurai Shodown 1. He was the boss. So he's an OG. Very first Samurai Shodown, Amakusa Shiro Tokisara was the final boss. You get to see Ambrosia for a tiny bit in the background, but you never actually fight her. Yeah, it was my controller. Something fell. Yeah. I was gonna put it back on the table, but I dropped it. Because apparently you can't skip this. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's a Saturn replica pad. If I threw this thing into the wall would break before the controller does. Yeah, it's old school controllers are pretty sturdy. Yeah. or the floor in this case. It got stuck on one of the cables to my computer, that's why I dropped it. It happens. I have so many wires. Yeah, it does. It's a Saturn replica pad, of course it does. It is a little bit awkward, but it's awkward in the same way that the Saturn pad is. That it's kind of round, but it's also a D-pad, and it's super sensitive. So it takes a while to get used to because it's so bloody accurate. It actually messes with your inputs if you're not used to it. Like just a tiny half tap and your character moves. So I actually struggle with dashing in this game because jump cancels are sort of a thing. So I kind of struggle with dashing because it's so sensitive that I hesitate and I think I might get a jump instead. But it's really good for parries. Like, I was pretty happy about, like, I got a lot more parries than I expected because all it takes is just the tiniest nudge and your character goes into the parry block. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine playing Yashamaro on this thing would be pretty amazing. Because then you don't have to care, because you're gonna jump anyway, because that's what he does. Yeah, I totally meant to jump there, because this character is all about jumping and spamming the super. Well, yeah, this has been Samurai Shodown, the 2019 version. And if you saw Samurai Warriors 5, you could probably see the similarities in style. They both have this sort of calligraphy 2D, 3D look, where they took 3D character models, but they applied a calligraphy style to them, so they look somewhere in between. The 2D effect is not nearly as convincing as in Guilty Gear, but it does look pretty. So at times, it definitely looks like a really good painting rather than a 3D model. So we got to explore Baiken. Definitely gonna have to put in more work with her because she's, like I said, it's awkward to play a Guilty Gear character with Samurai Shodown rules. Because she definitely plays Samurai Shodown, like those rules. She does that really well. But when the game talks about like Gatling combinations, but the Gatling combinations are limited to medium attack dust or medium attack heavy attack and nothing else, things get a bit awkward. Yeah, I wanted a picture of that fireball. The first reveal of Amakusa, it was always right there, and now he's in the game. Sure took them long enough to add him though, like a whole year? Come on. He was right there. That was his crystal ball.
Samurai Shodown.
Yeah. And here we have Shizuka in the background. Let's actually check the gallery, because I don't have all the prologues. I don't have the one for Tom Tom, that's weird. Yeah, some of these characters I actually haven't even been in the game with. Hibiki is also another character, that's a guest character. She's from The Last Blade. And The Last Blade is apparently never getting a sequel. Then again, SNK pretty much said that Last Blade 2 was the best they could possibly do, and that any attempt at a sequel would just sully the franchise. I mean, that doesn't mean that they're not going to do a sequel, but they've been pretty adamant about that, where they just don't want to do a Last Blade sequel because they're worried that they're going to mess up, and they just want to leave it as it is. But that didn't prevent them from using the character. You also have Gongsun Lee, who is apparently a guest character from like some sort of mobile game from Tencent, I think. And of course Cham Cham, and this guy from For Honor. Yeah, she actually came into this game being super good because the last patch actually nerfed her a bit. Which made sense, because it's like, it's Hibiki. She's never been anything other than a super strong character. And then they added her, at least partially the way she was, and she turned out to be like, yeah, she's a bit too good. We need to dial her back a little bit. She does way too much damage. She was a rare character in this that actually got nerfs. There's of course Genjiro as well. Genjiro got nerfed so bad It's like they changed how the whole system of dragon punches worked for everybody just to nerf him. Probably think the same with Garo as well. I'm not sure, because they were actually going to do a Garo 2 sequel, and then they, you know, went bankrupt and died. They had actually started on Garo 2. There's even sprite work for like the characters that were gonna be in the game. So I don't think so for Garo. I think Garo would probably be the game that they did, unless if they hadn't done this first. I always felt like it was after King of Fighters 14, it was gonna come down to either Fatal Fury sequel, which was most likely gonna be Garo 2, or another Samurai Shodown game, and of course they went with Samurai Shodown because, well, they had plans like adding the Warden from For Honor and Gongsun Li and freaking Baiken and Hibiki. If they were gonna do the same thing with Mark of the Wolves, it would just be, you know, King of Fighters, because King of Fighters doing crossovers, I mean, that's what the whole series is about, so I guess they wanted to do it with Samurai Shodown. Plus Samurai Shodown is just great in general, because it's, the games have always been pick up and play, like they're super easy to get into, but they're super, super, super technical as well, so it goes really well with, like, it's a fighting game that pretty much anyone can get behind because it has all the bells and whistles that makes it look super impressive and cool. It's violent, there's blood, huge damage, very easy to understand controls, but then it's also like super technical, so even if you're a veteran, you can still get something out of it. Yeah. I mean, there's so much to say about like Samurai Shodown in general. Like, Samurai Shodown was so insanely popular, it was actually starting to outcompete Street Fighter 2 when Street Fighter 2 was at the height of its popularity. There's like no other game that can say that. Like, hey, we were actually beating Street Fighter 2 at their own game while it was the hottest thing around. Which is insane, considering Samurai Shodown being made was a complete accident. I think for the first several games, I think 4 was the only one that they actually planned to do ahead of time. Because Samurai Shodown 1 was actually made to be just a placeholder while they were working on the next big thing, which I think was King of Fighters 95, but I'm not... No, wait, it couldn't be. Was it the next Fatal Fury game? Either way, it was one of their big games that they were gonna put out, and they just set the team to, here is a budget, here's a development team, make a fighting game. You get basically free reins to do whatever you want, but you have to hit this date. Don't expect a sequel or anything. We just want a fighting game to fill in the void while we work on our next, like, the real fighting game that we're gonna promote. So the guys set to work and they did Samurai Shodown, and Samurai Shodown was such a giant seller that SNK decided, hey, we can't actually leave money on the table. We're gonna have to make a sequel. So here's another few $1 million, or whatever. I don't know what the budget actually was, but like, here's some money, here's another development team, make a sequel. But this time, you have to finish the story. Like, this has to be the last part, because we didn't actually intend for Samurai Shodown to be a thing. What you did was a fluke. So here, have another budget, have another development team, put together something, and make sure to finish the story this time, because we don't want fans to think that we're actually backing this horse. So they did Samurai Shodown 2, and then Samurai Shodown 2 was starting to kick so much ass, Street Fighter 2 was struggling to compete, and then they were like, okay, wow, the Samurai Shodown thing is really taking off. What the hell? Okay, here's another few dollars, and also the same team put together another game, I guess. But you have really short time. I think they put the whole game together from scratch in like 3 months. And after that, the development team for Samurai Shodown was exhausted, and the guy who was the director of the game, he was so fed up with being in like constant, basically like crunch mode, that like he actually left the country. He only called them back, like he actually just took a boat and went into the Atlantic just to get away from Japan. And the only reason that SNK even talked to him again was because he showed up and he arrived in the Philippines, and he met a couple of kids outside of an arcade who insisted that he should play them in the arcade. And he was like, okay. Oh yeah, wait. This was they also did Samurai Shodown 4, because after 3 they just decided, yeah, okay, this is a thing now. You're gonna make Samurai Shodown 4. So they crunched. That was the game they also crunched. But either way, so he had finished 4 and he was just done. Done. He went into the Atlantic with his boat. Ended up in the Philippines, outside of this arcade where these 2 kids insisted that they should play, and he followed along, and the game they wanted to play was Samurai Shodown 4. But the thing is that the kids had actually tricked him. So on one hand, he was actually like, wow, you actually like this game? I actually did this game. You kids don't actually know that, but I actually programmed this game for like myself. I am going to kick your ass. But the thing is that the machine was actually broken. Like the controller on one of the sides, that the side he was playing on had a broken stick. So they beat his ass. Like actually destroyed him in the game. And he's like, oh my god. But still, this was pretty fun. I should probably call the office. He called the office and they were like, where the hell are you? He's like, I'm in the Philippines. What the hell are you doing over there? We're gonna make another Samurai Shodown game. And he told them, I'm actually done with this franchise, and I don't want to come back to work because I don't like this crunch time. Fuck you guys. And they were like, okay, but we have like new people. They're from Examu, the guys that did Arcana Heart, and they could like use some help, cause you know, don't you want to be nice to the new guys? And they basically shanghaied him into like, okay. I'll give them the source code for Samurai Shodown 4, and I'll explain how it works. But then I never want to talk to you guys again. I'll only do it for the new kids. I feel sorry for them. So he did that, and then he left the company, and they it seems like they never talked to him again. So the Examu guys, or UKs they were called at the time. They actually went by like many different names, but they were the ones that made Arcana Heart, like all of them. They actually made Samurai Shodown 5 on behalf of SNK. And then when that's why Samurai Shodown 5 Special has like so many like super unique mechanics and characters, like Rera when she gets on her wolf. Like, and the wolf and Rera act like as 2 different characters. Like, the wolf can jump and then she can jump off of the wolf to like get these really weird shenanigans, or she can dash through the opponent because she can attack while the wolf is running, because they're 2 separate characters. And you had like Nina, who had fireball normals. like really crazy shit like that. It's because of them. But it gets like even better because they decided that we want to make Samurai Shodown 5 was really cool, but we want you to make another game and like update this. And the new team was like a super small team. They were like, I think it was like 6 people. So they were like, we have like no resources. How the hell are we gonna do this? They want us to basically do like King of Fighters 98 UM. What the hell do we do? Well, we have so limited. We have like no resources. We barely have any graphics artists. It's just us. Okay, so let's start with making Gao from Samurai Shodown 5. Let's make him playable because hey, he's already in the game. And speaking of, we could probably add the other bosses as well. Like we already have the sprites for Sankuro and they're drawn in the same style, so let's add him as well. Just throw him in there. Amakusa is he's already done. He was in Samurai Shodown 4. Let's add him in. So now we have put in 0 work and we already have a couple of new characters. So let's put in the limited sprite work that we can get and add Mizuki or Bizuki, the boss from Samurai Shodown 4. She also has like several names. And they put in the work to put her in the game. And they also finished up the fatalities that were supposed to be in Samurai Shodown 5, but they were glitchy and broken, so they couldn't finish it on time. Yeah, low resources. Like I said, I think they only had like 4 or 5 people tops. And it still gets better because then once they're done with 5 special, it's a huge hit. Like the fighting game crowd really loves the game. It's much better than 5. It becomes like a tournament darling. Hey, Defiant Zero. And so it becomes popular, and SNK decide to just go full steam ahead, so they start working on Samurai Shodown 6. Because they're gonna put it on the Atomic Wave. That is Arxis is a little weird thing. The arcade board, and they're gonna make it a huge thing. They're pulling all of their best people on it. They get lots of resources, and then this guy who was still like not super happy with how he felt like the game could have been even better, so he decides to work single-handedly on Samurai Shodown 5 Perfect, which he thinks is gonna be a nice surprise. He does this by himself without telling SNK that he's doing it. He gets to the point where they're actually doing a beta test in an arcade before SNK even finds out about it. And when they do, they send out a representative to just pull the cable, literally pull the cable out of the arcade machine and carry it out of there to stop this project that they didn't even ask for. And then years and years and years and years later, the guy is contacted by the guys that did Samurai Shodown Anthology, the Neo Geo collection, and they start talking, and then they find out that he actually still has a copy of the game on his hard drive that he stole from their offices and just had at home. Yeah, Digital Scream. And they asked him if they could have a copy of the game, and he said, well, you really need to talk to SNK about that, because, you know, there's the whole thing about, like, I stole computer code for a game I wasn't even supposed to work on. They probably wouldn't like that, but hey, if they're on board, I guess, please don't sue me. And SNK were like, wow, that's actually really cool, you should do that, because holy shit, that's actually perfect. We're gonna put the perfect version of Samurai Shodown 5. We finally get to use this. So yeah, please give them the source code and finish the thing that you were working on. We're actually kind of glad this happened. So yeah, like so much of Samurai Shodown was just a complete accident. There are so few games that they actually planned to make. It's limited to like 4, and 5, and 6 basically are were the ones that like 4 was the first game they actually intended to make from the start. 3 was like basically just a practice run, and then they were like, yeah, use that to like make 4 cause so we need to fill in time. So 3 was only made in like 3 months. And then it was always gonna be transformed into like they would take the resources and put them into 4. So yeah. Such a crazy ride for this franchise, and now we're here with Samurai Shodown 2019 because SNK like accidentally created a franchise that they didn't even intend to support multiple times, but by pure coincidence they kept getting new games despite losing the director, who actually started hating them to the point that he just took a raft into the Atlantic to get away from them, but somehow got shanghaied by kids in the Philippines who screwed him over and made him call his boss. So yeah, there you go, some Samurai Shodown history. How about that? I can actually show off, we're gonna wrap things up, but I can show off this is the collection that I was talking about. And the story that I just told is actually in here, it's in a documentary. You can actually see the offices of SNK that is located in Esaka, which is, you know, the theme song of Kyo Kusanagi. And you can actually see the street outside in one of the interviews, and you can see that it is just that stage from King of Fighters 98. It looks so similar, they might as well have just gone out and taken a photo. The bridge is there, the sidewalk is there, like the crossing, the fucking street lights are in the same place. It's just that stage, but in real life. But yeah, here you have Samurai Shodown, perfect. Yeah. Well, for free. You still have to buy the collection, but it's pretty cool that it became part of the collection. I could show off a little what it actually looks like. Oh, okay, there was actually an interesting story with the localization of SSN as well. After the fall of Ignition Entertainment, SNK gave the game to Xseed, who asked if they want a real translation for the game, but SNK said nope, since they were very proud of their English translation. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I don't actually have a start button on this controller. Yeah, I'm just gonna let the intro roll then. The game is actually quite hard to tell the difference from Samurai Shodown 5 Special Vanilla. The main thing that you will see is, like I said, it's in the single player, because the single player is quite different. But as you can see, the intro is exactly the same. And oh yeah, everybody has a new color that they didn't have before. Yeah, okay. This is the new Samurai Shodown 5, perfect. You can see that it has the effect. I forget what that's called. You can see the new logo there, but outside of that it's very similar. Yeah. 7 golden letters. But yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna wrap things up, and congratulations once again to Eli, who won this giveaway again. Let's see about maybe doing a raid. I'll see if there's anyone. Anyone I actually know who's currently streaming, which seems to be not the case. Oh, that's a shame, because it would have been fun to do another raid, but yeah, nobody that I know is actually, nobody that I actually, yeah, know for sure is streaming. It's just like Impact Wrestling, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, thanks you so much for tuning in to watch Baiken Baby in Samurai Shodown and listening to me rant about everything relating to the character, this amazing franchise. I tried explaining to my boss how hype I was for the stream. I talked about how SNK rarely takes in characters from other companies. They almost always do the opposite, where you can use our characters so that you owe us money, but we don't want to owe you squat. We either want to own you outright, like they do with Nazca Corporation, the creators of Metal Slug, which they own outright. They just bought the whole thing. Or ADK is another example, the guys that did World Heroes. They don't like using other people's IPs. They did SVC Chaos, but they did that like as a way to just basically guarantee a way to get money quickly. Oh, you want to hear more rants? Oh my god, like I have so many about so many different topics. But yeah, last one is Arxis. You have to remember, these guys do the opposite. Because they got the character from Arxis, and Arxis just never, ever, ever lets anyone use their characters. They'll use your characters and turn it into greatness. They did Fist of North Star fighting game, they did the Dragon Ball Fighters, all of which were like, you know, legendary fighting games. But Soul showing up in another game? Nah. Nah. You don't get to do that. We will use your characters, but you can't use ours. And Baiken just turned that whole thing upside down. SNK actually took a character from somebody else, and Arxis actually let them. Like, you have no idea how much of a big deal that is. This has been like decades where both companies just refuse to do exactly this. So it's a huge deal that Baiken actually showed up in Samurai Shodown. You have no idea. But man, I've been going overtime for 30 minutes. We'll be back on Monday to play some more Samurai Warriors. Same bad time, same bad channel. There's more DLC for that game that just came out this week, so we'll have a look at that. I predict we will see an SNK character in Strive Season 2. I wouldn't be surprised at all, because SNK has been on a tear, putting SNK characters in every game. Terry Bogard in Smash, and Fighting Layer, Iori in that anime fighter, Mai and Kula in Dead or Alive. They're just everywhere now. So I'm excited to see who that is. Maybe somebody from Samurai Shodown? We'll see. Either way, we are done. So, because I need to get some sleep. But Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week for more rants. Take care, you guys. Love you.